If you're feeling trapped, stuck, unable to get ahead, here is how you begin your journey towards financial success. To begin getting out of debt and poverty, you need to organize your finances. You can't solve your financial problems if you don't have a full picture of what's going on. Most people can find all the information they need within a half hour. This step also requires no money. To make this easier for you, I've created a free Excel spreadsheet that you can use to organize your finances, linked down below. The hardest part of organizing your finances is your potential psychological blockade. It's an intimidating moment. You have to look at reality, and it's not going to be a reality you like. You can choose to avoid looking at it, but know that if you make that choice, you will likely stay in poverty for the rest of your life. So please, be brave and get organized. If you won't do it for yourself, do it for the people you love. That way, they don't have to take care of you, and you can be generous with them. If you've decided to get organized, then it's time to start getting information. You'll need to know how much you have in your bank accounts, investment accounts, crypto wallet, your actual wallet, your debts, your income, and all of your bills. The more information, the better. You want the information you gather to be as specific as possible. For example, instead of guessing how much you spend on Uber Eats each month, go into the app and add up your order history for the past 30 days. Be specific. Before you use this information to your advantage, let's set some goals. You have 3 goals to achieve before you can consider yourself out of poverty and debt. Goal number 1, get $1,000 into your bank account. This is your mini emergency fund, which gives you some flexibility when dealing with small-sized emergency expenses. Goal number 2, get out of debt except for the mortgage. You do not want to be chained down by other institutions or people. Your goal is to have the system working for you, not you working for the system. It's time to stop being a debtor. Goal number 3, expand your $1,000 emergency fund into a full-fledged emergency fund that consists of 3 to 6 months of your necessary spending. That way, if a major medical bill occurs or you lose your job, you can avoid going into debt while you resolve the issue. Now let's take a quick pause here. We've done a lot of work right now. We've set some goals. You've got your finances organized. Now it's time to just get emotional for a moment. Imagine how incredible it's going to feel to be out of debt. Just let that sink in for a second. No debt. You have an emergency fund. You are not a debtor. You are a person who will be financially successful and take control of the system. How do you think that feels? Amazing. Magical. Maybe like winning the lottery. You can get there. Now it's time for the next step. Now that your finances are organized, you'll need to calculate your cash flow. This is your after-tax monthly income minus your monthly expenses. That leftover money is what you can throw at your debt situation and build an emergency fund with. Having a large positive cash flow is essential for good financial health. If your cash flow is break even, you are one financial emergency away from a disaster. If your cash flow is negative, you are financially sinking and will eventually run out of money. The higher your cash flow, the faster you can resolve your financial issues. To increase your cash flow, you need to either increase your earnings or decrease your spending, though you can obviously do both. Let's start talking about increasing your earnings. It has never been easier for an individual to increase their earnings due to the gig economy. The gig economy is very useful because it allows any individual to turn spare hours into cash. Apps like Uber, DoorDash, and Grubhub are well known, but there are plenty of other options. Amazon Flex allows you to drop off packages for Amazon. Wag allows you to walk people's dogs. There are tons of options out there. Now, getting a part-time job is typically better than a gig economy app, but your full-time schedule might be too rigid to have 2 jobs at once. If so, use a gig economy app to make a few extra bucks. Now, while it is easy to increase your earnings these days, the easiest way to improve your cash flow is by spending less. Most people are hemorrhaging money left and right. Common examples include signing up for too many subscription services, shopping at expensive grocery stores, using a mainstream phone carrier instead of a discount carrier, and spending too much money on eating out. Yes, I know you spend too much money on eating out because we all do. By going through your bills, you'll quickly find a couple hundred extra bucks that you can save every single month. After you get your cash flow as high as you possibly can, you want to look for opportunities to make a quick dent in your financial situation. This could be by selling unnecessary stuff you have lying around. It could be by asking your friend to pay back the money you lent them. It could be by selling the expensive car you financed and getting a cheap used car instead. This one-time windfall is very helpful. Paying off debt reduces the amount of money you spend on interest every month. That means that interest money can be allocated towards paying off other debts. Then even more money gets freed up. Additionally, as debts are being paid off, the minimum payment is gone. That means even more money can be chucked at the next target. Paying off debt is the most difficult at the start. It only gets easier as you reduce the amount of money you owe. Now, this is the basic framework for getting out of debt, but obviously there are a lot more specific things that can help you. What discount phone carrier should you use? Which gig economy pays best? Some of these questions you will be able to learn online. Others you will have to discover for yourself. Regardless of which approach will resolve the answer, continuing to learn about personal finance is essential. Money can't be something you're afraid of. Money is simply a tool for acquiring goods and services. Just like any tool, you need to learn about it to effectively use it. A good place to start is by reading books like The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey or I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. You can easily find these books at your local or online library. Additionally, feel free to subscribe for even more content. Getting people into good financial shape is a passion of mine, and I intend to keep creating more content that will help you succeed. Before we wrap this up, there's one more important thing you need to know. Most people are in terrible financial shape. Less than 50% of Americans can deal with an $1,000 emergency using their savings. So when you walk down the street and you see all these people around you, know that they're all faking their finances. They're in debt, they're struggling, they're just pretending that's not the case. So find pride that you're stepping up to the plate, doing what most people can't. If you're trying to find ways to connect with people, there is a Discord server, so you can always check that out. I hope you found this video helpful, and I know you can become financially successful.